A long hot bath first. A hot bath with scented candles and a mug of cocoa. And a good thriller. Do you read in the bath, Sarge?
No.
And a piece of cake, coffee preferably. The sergeant asleep, exhausted by 3 days and nights hunting the enemy over the plains of northern Germany. The fate of the entire platoon rested on the shoulders of Private Tracy Walters of the Royal Logistic Corps. Oops. Put your foot down, Tracy. What of help you are.
Noch ein britischer Konvoi.
Sarge, it's the Taliban!
Very funny. Where's everyone else? The bloody move on. Jesus.
It began in Africa.
Karl, das Lied ist einfach scheiße.
Wiki, Joe. FT8, army truck's gone and killed a civilian. Meet you out front in 2 minutes. Dankeschön.
Sergeant Hornsby, Sergeant MacDonald.
What happened, Thomas?
You can't see? An army truck on the wrong side of the road hit the car. One kid died at the scene, the other is fighting for his life in hospital.
What about the driver of the truck?
Also in hospital, concussion. The soldiers are Cumbrian Fusiliers returning from a 3-day exercise. 3 days without sleep. But a 19-year-old girl is driving a heavy truck on our roads.
Her truck was at the rear of the convoy?
Yeah, she had fallen behind. She must have been very tired.
Poor lass.
She's not a lass or a girl. She's a soldier, and she should have been awake.
Talk to Sam Perkins, Joe. Find out who's in charge. Tell him we'll need to interview every soldier that was in the back of the truck and anyone else who witnessed it. Sergeant Major Burns, please.
After 492 days, he just walked back into the barracks.
He had a little domestic problem. Now he's ready to rejoin his unit.
And why is he being inflicted on us?
Aldershot SIB have been trying to talk to him for 2 years. He's a witness in a robbery case.
492 days AWOL, that beats my record.
I had this bloke turn up at the depot in Ulster once. Said he'd been left behind when his unit was posted to Suez and he wanted back in. He was 67. Been absent without leave 38 years.
We have an FTA. Civilian car, army truck, 2 civilian casualties. 1 critical, 1 dead. Bruce and MacDonald on the scene requesting assistance.
Bloke's just turned up, Boss Gunner Wolf. He's been AWOL a year and a half. Says he wants to come back in from the cold.
Well, tell him to bugger off back to the cold or send him to his unit.
Aldershot SIB wants to hang on to him, sir. Ongoing case.
Mr. Vickery, stay. Neve, come.
Come on then, sir. Look lively.
So you were asleep?
As such. Till the crash. That woke us all right.
It was the crash that woke you.
What do you mean?
Or did you hear brakes? A skid? Did the truck swerve?
Just a bang. Metal on metal. No sleep for 3 days. We're well gone.
All right, son, Hornsby.
Yes, sir. Thanks very much, Private Coulter. You can go back to sleep now.
As such.
Sit rep, Bruce.
Interviewed all the soldiers in the back. Statements seemed consistent. All of them were asleep. They were all woken by the crash. Obviously, we haven't spoken to the driver, Private Walters, or Sergeant Telford, who was in the cab with him.
Is he in hospital?
No. Bit banged up, but he refuses to leave the scene.
Right, let's see what Sergeant Telford has to say. Joe, will you get this bloody dog out from under my feet?
Yes, sir.
Max?
I'd like to make a fresh start.
Well, it's not as easy as that, is it, Gunner Wolf?
I don't know, sir. You tell me.
I mean, you can't just waltz back in as if the last year and a half hadn't happened.
Oh, they happened all right, sir. Every minute of them. I'm not denying that. Guilty as charged.
But as long as that's clear.
Very clear, sir.
Why did you go AWOL in the first place?
It's so long ago, I can hardly remember stuff.
I didn't come down with the last rain, you know, Wolf.
No stuff. I came back from the Middle East, and I found my wife was seeing another man. It broke my heart. I had to get away.
But the old ticker's mended now, is it?
Oh, yes, Staff. Time heals all wounds. I love Ginny now just as much as I did the day we met.
This shouldn't have happened.
I know.
For 60 years, we've had occupying armies on our soil, driving their trucks and tanks on our roads. No wonder the occasional German gets killed. Is the occupying army a bit strong? Are you going to tell me you are here to defend us?
I'm not going to tell you anything.
I'm sorry. I was early on the scene. I watched the ambulance men pull the boys out of their car. One of them had to leave his legs behind.
Max, what's up? What's that?
We were driving along. We'd fallen behind a bit. I told Walters to put a foot down. Next thing I know, there's lights right in front of us, and we go into them.
Why had you fallen behind?
We were all pretty knackered.
Were you awake, Steve?
Of course.
And Private Walters?
She's a good girl. On attachment to us from logistical.
I don't want her CV. I want to know if she was awake.
She was.
And how do you explain ending up on the wrong side of the road? You're in hot water for this, Steve. We might as well have the truth.
Sergeant Major, we finished here. We need to reopen the road.
We're nearly done.
You should know that Public Prosecutor Eckert is concerned about this case.
And I'm concerned.
He's talking about jurisdiction.
Something you should see, sir.
What exactly should I see, Madonna?
Over there, sir. There's another one 10 meters further back. Max found them.
Max found them?
Yes, sir. He's trained as an explosives dog, sir. I think that's what it is.
But they could be months old.
No, they would have faded. These are new.
Fresh explosives, 200 meters from the crash. None of the soldiers said anything about this?
No, sir.
Get the suckers on it. Stay with them. Get a lift back with the uniforms.
Sir.
Beautiful.
Yes, sir. Glad you like it.
What are they looking at?
Just something in the road. You're Bernie Maddox, right? Have you lost something, Bernie?
Is Tracy gonna be all right?
I think so, yeah.
Maddox, get your ass on board.
The evidence of the crash site suggests that she fell asleep, drifted onto the wrong side of the road, hit the oncoming vehicle. However, several factors are undetermined. 1, the evidence of private waters. 2, the relative speeds and conditions of the vehicles involved. And 3, the precise nature of certain deposits found on the side of the road before the crash site. Until we know
What sort of deposits, sir?
Well, by the smell, some sort of explosives. But until we know precisely, we resist all assumptions.
The convoy had just passed through the village of Hamer, home to Klaus Hoffmann,
MP for the Greens.
former MP. Resigned in protest of German troop involvement in Macedonia. Now confines himself to throwing eggs at Joschka Fischer.
And bombs at army trucks.
Are you two quite finished? We do not speculate ahead of the evidence.
Yeah, we do all the time. Sorry, boss.
Right, tasking. Mr. Vickery, get yourself to the hospital. Sit with Private Walters. The Germans do not talk to her unless we're there. Now, please, sir. Thank you. Staff Roper, can you tear yourself away from your AWOL case?
Well, his unit's done without him for 492 days. I'm sure another couple won't hurt.
Right, I want...
As you were. I've come straight from Eckhart's office. Given public opinion, the Germans wish to run this investigation themselves. Any objections, Sergeant Major?
Traffic accidents involving British personnel have always been our jurisdiction, sir.
Have you seen the local news?
I haven't quite had a chance, sir.
Local politicians are having a field day.
Klaus Hoffmann too, sir.
All the more reason for us to control the investigation. We're not subject to political pressure.
But the army is. The German police will run the case. Eckhart has agreed that 2 NCOs can shadow their investigation. Complete your interviews and the results to Strauss.
Sir! Two NCOs to shadow the Germans. Staff Sergeants Roper, Kurland, it's all yours. Sergeant Hornsby, get the Cumbrian statements ready for Strauss.
Sir, I've been thinking about the explosives. The paper residue that was...
You're an explosives expert now, are you?
No, sir, but the paper...
When we get the Socco's report, McDonough, then we will all listen to your theories with interest.
Can I have a moment, sir?
Yeah.
The statements we got from the soldiers in the truck, they were very similar.
Well, didn't the same thing happen to all of them?
They sounded rehearsed, sir. And there was a 2-hour gap before the RMP got to the crash scene.
Okay. Get Hornsby to go through their army records and ask him to show me the statements before they go to Strauss. Thanks, Steve.
Sir, can I work with Sergeant Hornsby on this?
I'll put you with Roper.
Yes, sir. Don't take this the wrong way, sir, but Roper and I, we rub each other up the wrong way.
Well, rub each other up the right way. Bloody hell. What do you think this is, a kindergarten?
No, sir. It's just some people work better with other people. It's probably my fault, sir.
Well, then shame on you, Staff Sergeant. Help Hornsby with the statements. And ride the Soccos. I want a result on whatever it is McDonough found.
Yes, sir.
What are you doing here?
I'm waiting for Neve.
I'll put it with Hornsby.
Okay.
Everything all right, Philip?
What do you mean?
I'll find your colleagues congenial.
Yeah, when they wash.
When I move on, you're in line to take over here, you know that? Letting personal preferences get in the way of your job. Not wise.
What are you talking about, boss?
Take McDonough with you. Pleased?
Why should I be?
No idea. McDonough, you're with the Roper.
We'll see it in Burns.
No idea.
Medwick is alive. Just.
They did in the blood test.
What?
A test for drugs and alcohol.
I don't think they have. I think they've been trying to save his life first. But I'll make sure it's done. Excuse me.
Blood test on Private Walters. No drugs, no alcohol.
Thank God for that.
And Steve Forney confirms that the explosives residue is explosives residue.
Thank you, Steve.
He's doing some live tests tomorrow. First thing, if you need anything more complicated, have to send the exhibits back to the UK.
Brilliant. Where exactly were these things?
189 metres before the crash.
So how long before...
Well, if the truck was going at 60 kilometres an hour...
What's that?
About 4 seconds.
So there could have been a factor.
Yeah.
You really think tree huggers are lobbing bombs at army trucks?
Well, remember the soldier that got killed in Bosnia when kids chucked a rock through his windshield?
Bruce liaise with Steve tomorrow. In the meantime, get back out there. Have a look around. The village, the fields. Have a sniff.
Yes, boss.
Did you touch me?
No. Well, yes, your IV thingy was a bit twisted.
Are you a doctor?
No, not a doctor. Lieutenant Vickery. Giles Vickery, Special Investigation Branch.
SIB. I hope I was dreaming.
Can I help you, Mum? I want Robert Wolfe. Where is he?
He's in the cells.
There's a surprise. Can I see him?
I'm afraid not. If you come back tomorrow after 9...
Please, let me see him.
What's going on?
She wants to see Gunner Wolfe.
Sorry, no visitors after 4:30. You'll have to come back tomorrow.
Listen, Chubby Chops, I'm his bloody wife. And I'm bloody pregnant, and I want to know what that little toe rag's going to do about it.
Run like the wind, love?
What's the last thing you remember?
Headlights.
And where were they?
In front of me.
They were just there.
I wasn't asleep.
Was Sergeant Telford awake?
I don't remember.
Well, either he was or he wasn't.
Okay. Will you excuse us, Tracy? Guten Abend, Herr Eckert. Peter Medwick has just died.
I'm sorry.
2 kids driving home is what they were doing. And now this. I will inform your superiors that we are revoking the status of forces agreement. We will charge Miss Waters with 2 counts of manslaughter. If she does not have legal representation, the Public Defender's Office will provide her with a lawyer. Schloss, kommen Sie mal mit.
Let Walters know that's it for tonight, sir. And you might as well let her know what's happened.
I think she already knows.
His parents been told.
They don't need to be. She's his mother. You are seriously suggesting a Hoffman threw a bomb at the trucks?
Well, maybe one of his more enthusiastic followers. We were in Hamer last night. Every window has a notice protesting against Brit Army presence.
Just because someone puts a notice in
It
their
could have
window.
been a prank, Thomas. Kids with homemade fireworks.
Exactly, fireworks. The explosions cause no harm. They are irrelevant.
They're close enough to the crash to be relevant.
I will talk to the local police.
Also, we haven't yet received the blood results of the two boys in the car.
You really want to find some guilty Germans, don't you, Sergeant Major?
I want to make sure the guilty parties are successfully prosecuted in court. So we cover all bases.
I'll go to hospital now.
Thank you.
3, 2, 1. Test 2, a thunder flash. Fire in the hole. 3, 2, 1.
OK, look now.
Is it a letter?
Yep. My guess is it's part of the trademark. You see how the paper's impacted? Let's have a look. Yep. Now, these are the fragments from the crash site.
Right, so who's the guilty party?
Him.
A thunder flash?
Yep. Right, well, thanks very much, sir. Any time. I don't suppose you're free for a drink tonight, Joe? Sir. Faint heart never won. Fair mate, Bruce.
Fred, I'm busy tonight, sir.
I'm washing your hair, I suppose. Well, it's lovely hair. And that's for the Sergeant Major.
Thank you.
A thunder flash.
Beyond reasonable doubt, boss.
It's soldiers, half-inch diffusing from exercise.
So you're dropping your angry greens theory and going for the usual suspect, the British squaddy.
Why not? Look on the bright side, boss. It means a whole heap of charges. Unlawful possession of explosives causing an explosion likely to endanger life.
But what were they doing with them in the truck?
Well, what squaddies do? Buggering about. You're driving along, you're bored, chuck some high explosives at the passing countryside.
It could have distracted the driver.
It could. The driver, however, is being charged by the Germans and will be tried in a German court of law.
But if there's mitigating
As
evidence...
I was about to say, Staff Sergeant Cunnan, if there's mitigating evidence, we will hand it over, which is why we will now search the quarters of all the men in the back of the truck. If they're nicking thunder flashes, they could be stealing hand grenades. It's obviously unjust that a girl at the bottom of the chain should take the fall, even if it is her bloody fault. Hippie, McDonough, get to the hospital, find Strauss, get the boys' blood results.
Hang on. Why are we assuming the thunder flashes came from the crash truck? There were 8 trucks in that convoy. Thunder flashes could have come from any of them.
So now we're not searching 12 rooms. We're searching 100. Thank you, Neve.
This is down by the sergeant's mess.
Look, excuse me, do you mind?
Kids, they don't like being kept waiting. Look, I'll call patrol, get them to have a look, but thanks for coming in, yeah?
Thank you.
Right, how can I help you, Mum? I heard you got Bobby Wolfe here. Gunner Wolfe, we do indeed.
I want to see him.
Right. What's your name, please?
Ginny Wolfe.
And you are?
I'm his wife and the mother of his children. Not that this guy being sod gives a snot about them.
It's 9 o'clock. Can I see him? The staff. I need some help here. It's about Gunner Wolfe.
They told me if I came back this morning I could see him.
Why do you want to see him?
What?
Ashley Ogden, we got a room. Why don't you get Perkins on it?
Thanks very much, staff. Right.
I tried to bring Max along. I thought he'd cheer you up. But they wouldn't let me bring him in.
Is he like your mascot?
No, actually, he was trained as a bomb squad dog in Ulster. But he refused point blank to go near any bombs.
Clever dog.
Very clever.
Have you seen Thomas Strauss, sir?
I haven't, I'm afraid.
I'm going to get kicked out the army, aren't I?
Nothing's decided yet.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious. My company commander was here. He said they'd make sure I had the best lawyers. But what's the point? I did it.
Have you remembered anything more since yesterday? Anything?
No. Just lies. And nothing.
Could anything have distracted you, taken your eyes off the road?
Like what? I wasn't asleep.
Like stuff going on in the truck?
What, you mean the lads? They wouldn't do anything. They're a good bunch.
Did you hear anything?
Voices. Voices, maybe, but maybe I'm just... But they're a good bunch. We've had some laughs.
You like the army?
Yeah, I do. I know it sounds stupid, but I always wanted to be a soldier since I was so high. And I got my chance, and now, well...
Madonna.
Blood test results for Calvena and Peter Midweg. We've had them translated. Now I will talk to the policeman in Hema, see if you saw Hoffman throwing bombs.
I don't think that'll be necessary.
We know what the explosive is. A thunder flash, 2 thunder flashes. They're used to simulate battlefield explosions.
You mean it's army stuff? Not German kids, not green in peace.
Unlikely.
I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sure you are too.
Calvena, blood alcohol of 120 mgs?
Yeah, he was over the limit.
Yeah, well over. And this, narcotics?
Marijuana.
Oh, so they were drunk and high?
Not they. He, just Calvena.
He wasn't driving?
He wasn't. Peter Midweg was the driver, and he is clean.
But they'd both been to some kind of party. They'd been up late.
And Private Walters had been up for 3 days. Just because they had been to a party, Sergeant McDonough, doesn't mean it's all right to drive a truck over them. The driver was clean.
Hippie! Need your help with Gunner Wolf. You know what he did?
What did he do?
Ran away from wife 1 in Germany, found wife 2 in England, got wife 2 pregnant, ran back to wife 1.
Yeah, then wife 2 followed him here, met wife number 1, and I got catfights down at the police station. Oh, thanks a lot, Hippie.
As soon as this is over, okay?
Everything okay, Bernie?
Great. You lot tearing up my rim?
What happened to your neck?
Nothing.
Doesn't look like nothing. This is a nice setup. Who paid?
We did. Clubbed together.
What do you know about thunder flashes, Bernie?
You throw them, they go bang.
Really?
I've already been done.
Do you mind if I come in?
Not at all, Sergeant McDonough.
You remember my name?
Well, yeah. No offence, but you're a bit better looking than most of your colleagues. Apart from Sergeant Major Burns, of course.
Of course.
I hear you're searching for illegal weapons.
Yeah. You're a collector?
Strictly legal. I have to keep the good stuff in the armoury. Want to see some pictures?
Sig Sauer P228. Where'd you get that?
Green Beret, Kosovo. You know your guns. So why'd you become a cop?
It's a long story. Do you mind women being in the army, Dan?
They can handle themselves same as men. I say come on in.
Tracy Waters handled herself okay,
Yeah, Tracy was good.
but now she's facing 2 manslaughter charges. If there was anything that might help her defence, I'd have hoped her mates would say so.
I would hope so too, but there isn't anything. You know, I think if you fall asleep on sentry duty or driving a truck, you should say so. You should take responsibility.
That's what Tracy should do?
Yeah. It's tough, but the army's supposed to be tough. Soldiers are supposed to be able to go without sleep for 2 days, 3 days.
Sometimes, yeah.
In the Falklands, the Paras march further, faster than anyone thought possible. Especially the Argies. Their training's hell, but it makes them tough, makes them win.
Why didn't you become a para, Dan?
I tried. I failed.
Why there are 8 men in all these photos?
No idea. You said it was a long story. I've got plenty of time.
Oi.
Not right now.
Are you on this case, or are you looking for a date?
Where are we going?
Burns wants us to go and talk to Carl and his parents about his drug habit.
He's got to be joking.
No. Go and give him a call if you want to argue with him.
Frau Renner, Herr Renner, darf ich Ihnen vorstellen, das sind Untersuchungsbeamte der britischen Armee.
Es ist eine Tragödie, Herr Werner. Aber wir mussten gründlich sein, Ihres Sohnes wegen. Wussten Sie, dass Karl Drogen genommen hat?
Karl nahm Drogen?
Dr. Mitweg.
Was geht hier eigentlich vor, Herr Strauß? This is disgraceful.
I understand your feelings.
How dare you insult the memory of their son?
Dr. Mitweg, bitte.
What do they hope to achieve? Stir up enough mud to avoid the blame, that's it. Isn't it?
No, it's not. We'll find who's responsible for the death of your sons, and then we'll convict them.
Dr. Mitweg's right. What do we hope to achieve?
There are things we don't know.
We know Tracy Walters drove a truck into a car and killed 2 young men. We know Sergeant Telford exercised inadequate supervision. They'll both be punished.
What about the men in the back? What if they were a factor?
So they were messing about. Soldiers play games. It's often what makes them good soldiers.
If it's no big deal, then why don't they say so? The only reason must be is that it wasn't just games, they were up to something else.
If they were stealing weapons, why haven't we found any?
Nobody was searched at the scene. They had time to hide stuff.
If they were stealing weapons or ammo, or even just a smoke grenade, we would have found it.
Okay, so maybe it's not weapons.
Then what? Roper? Oh, hi. You haven't received it? I posted it 4 days ago. Oh, I'm sorry, but I did send it. Look, I'm on a case right now. Can I call you back? Yeah, tonight. Okay, bye.
Hear you ran into trouble?
We did. How did you hear?
Herr Public Prosecutor Eckhart's been on the phone.
Did we get anything on the search?
No, and nothing from the interviews. At the moment, it looks like a big fat dead end. What are you doing?
Checking out the service records on the guys in the truck.
Anything?
Nope.
Excuse me, is Staff Roper around?
With Sergeant Major Burns.
Hi there.
You're very chirpy, Bruce.
Well, why not? I've just met the woman of my dreams.
Have you really, Bruce?
Yes, I really have, Joe. She works in the dental court, which you've got to admit is very useful for my dental hygiene. And she's called Tabitha, which you've got to admit is the most beautiful name in the world. Well, after Joe, of course. Oh, and Eve.
Well, don't scare her off by talking to her or anything.
Thanks.
That wasn't very nice.
Oh, she was only joking.
Was she?
Hello, Bernie.
Dan, what do you want?
Nothing really. I just saw you here.
I don't have to talk to you.
No, you can walk away right now and I can take over your game. But I'm better than you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
No, over to the right. Where's the helicopter? Look at the helicopter! Don't! You're going to be...
Okay, maybe I'm not better.
You're completely crap. And that was my money.
Okay, then. On me. Show me how. I was looking at your file. You did basic training with Tracy Walters.
So?
So I think you know her pretty well. I saw her today in the hospital. She misses you a lot.
She was a good kid.
Was. She's not dead, Bernie. She's going to jail, you know. She could get 10 years. By the time she comes out, she'll be nearly...
I can add up. All right?
Then what I don't get is you obviously like her, but you're selling her down the river. We know there was something going on in that truck, but what was it?
We were asleep.
Oh, pull the other one, Bernie. If you were messing around, why not tell us? Now, what sort of trouble can it get you into? And it might just mean that Tracy doesn't spend the next 10 years in a German jail. What is that on your neck?
None of your business. and gone for a pee.
Bernie, just tell me.
German medical reports. Add them to the post-mortem stuff.
What's German for post-mortem?
Post-mortem.
What do you think should happen to the girl?
She was driving, wasn't she? Do the crime, do the time. Anyway, she's not a girl, she's a soldier.
Yeah, that's what Joe said.
If Tracy Walters was a bloke, would you feel as sorry as you all seem to?
Depends how good-looking he was. Where is that post-mortem stuff?
Bernie! Bernie! Bernie, talk to me!
What's going on, Kenny? Company searches of the Cumbrians' quarters, completely disrupting their training schedules. Socko's overwhelmed. And the parents of one of the German boys forced to undergo an utterly pointless interview. Tell me it wasn't pointless.
Not in my view, sir.
Then what did it achieve?
It didn't achieve anything because it was interrupted.
And my sympathies lie entirely with the woman who interrupted it.
Well, you've been speaking to Eckhart.
I've been listening to Eckhart. And to the CEO of the Cumbrians, and to the regional commander. Wait! Close the investigation. Hand it over. Am I clear, Kenny?
Sir.
Sergeant Hornsby? Staff.
Boss, the Germans have made a mistake with the blood test. Carl Venner's blood group, on the post-mortem form it's A, and on the blood test it's O neg.
Wenner is the one that we thought had been drinking.
Yes, sir. And smoking grass.
Well, if it turns out to be Peter Medved, this is a very interesting mistake.
What do you mean?
I mean, it looks like someone has switched the blood sample, sir. To disguise the fact that the driver was high. A permission to reopen the investigation, sir. Well done, Bruce.
Thanks, boss.
Beaten up.
Yes, sir. Sergeant Perkins has taken him to the med centre.
Any idea who?
I think he was about to tell me something, sir, about what was going on in the truck.
The other blokes in the truck shut him up. Did you see anyone?
Afraid not, sir.
Show Herr Eckhart the papers.
Bruce?
Bruce, caught the Germans with their trousers down.
Someone would switch the blood samples. Makes no sense.
Well, it's probably a mistake, but obviously we must rerun the tests.
Tests were correctly run.
If you don't clarify this, Wolfgang, the defense lawyers will certainly use it.
Thank you. If I could send 2 investigators to the hospital to observe?
If you wish.
Right, Hippie, McDonough Hospital, Neve Med Centre. Talk to Maddox.
Sir, as I was saying...
McDonough Hospital, Neve Med Centre. Sergeant Hornsby, get Sam Perkins. Round up all the men who are in the back of the truck with Maddox. Straight away, please.
Es wird Ihnen und mir helfen. Die spielen der Verteidigung damit in die Hand. Glauben Sie mir, es ist besser so. Ja.
Okay.
They will retest the blood samples.
The existing samples?
Well, yes.
I'm sorry, but I think fresh samples should be drawn.
Drawn from what? My son and his friend are dead.
You still have the bodies.
We have taken blood already. It is clearly labeled.
There was a mistake in the process, Dr. Mitveg. It could have happened at the labelling stage. I'm sorry, but I think we should draw new blood.
I'm afraid it is the correct thing to do, Dr. Mitveg.
Where were you at 10:30 tonight?
In my room.
Who can vouch for you?
How many names do you want?
Why would someone beat up Private Maddox?
Don't know, sir. But when I find out, they wish they hadn't.
Do that, and I'll have you for assault.
Staff Curlin called up, Major. Maddox is saying he tripped and hit his head on the loop. He wants to go back to his unit.
All right, thank you, sir. What a shower. Let that girl carry the can.
No, we can't hold him. Let him go.
We got it translated for you, but I will summarize. Our blood samples had been switched. It was Peter Midvig who had taken the drugs, the alcohol.
Peter Mitvig.
The driver of the car.
Yes.
That changes things a little.
It doesn't change this. 2 young Germans killed by a British army truck driven by a British soldier on the wrong side of the road. Eckert has authorized the release of Private Walters to you until the start of a trial.
You said the blood samples had been switched. Was that a mistake?
It wasn't a mistake.
Do you know who was responsible?
She admitted it to protect her son's name. There will be a disciplinary hearing at the hospital. There will be also criminal charges. Dr. Midvig will lose her job and her reputation, as well as her son.
We still don't know everything.
Well, don't you think after all this, some things are better left unknown?
No, I don't.
What, get the truth whatever the cost?
Yeah.
You must be a nightmare to have a relationship with.
Yeah. Sergeant McDonough.
Sorry to barge in like this.
No problem. What is it?
I heard Bernie Maddox checked himself out of the med centre.
Bernie's tough. Is it him you wanted to talk about?
You're not in these.
Someone had to hold the camera.
Who are they?
Mates. Blokes you can rely on when things are going pear-shaped.
That's good.
It's the best. Any more questions? So, is this why you became a cop? So you could barge into men's rooms and interrogate them?
It's one of the perks.
What about some coffee? In exchange for the real story. Why'd you become a cop?
So I could catch bad men.
Put them in handcuffs, lock them up.
Depends how bad they've been.
And how bad do they have to be?
About as bad as you, Dan. Thanks for the coffee.
But you haven't had any.
I've never touched the stuff.
Time! Forward! Mark time! Halt!
That's Gunner Wolf. If he should propose to you, refuse. He's already married at least twice.
Cheer up, love. We'll have you back with your mates in a tick.
Can you wait a sec?
Morning, sir. One of those for me, is it?
No. I wanted to talk to Private Walters.
I'm just about to take her back to her barracks, sir. Do you wish to question her?
Yes, yes, I do.
Well, it's not entirely proper, I know, but we'll turn a blind eye. Corporal Ogden, let the officer see the private.
Come on, love.
I shouldn't worry about that. These trials take ages to get going, especially with the German legal system.
Sir.
Sir McDonough. Right. I'm glad to see you're settled back in all right. I'll just...
He's very sweet.
Yes, he is.
Did you know he wanted to join a guards regiment? The Coldstreams, not the military police.
No, I didn't know.
His dad was in the Coldstreams, and his granddad. So it's a bit of a disappointment to his family. Guess I am to mine too. I thought I'd make general.
Tracy, have you seen a tattoo like this?
Yeah, on a couple of the lads.
Where on the body? Do you remember any names?
I don't spend all day ogling naked bodies.
Names, Tracy. Sir, I know it's not my place, but you like private waters, don't you?
Well, I'm not actually sure that that's any... Yes, actually, I do like her. Not a good idea, I know, but she's such a terrific girl, and I'm an officer, which is such a...
Pity? Nightmare? Load of bollocks?
Yep. All of the above.
What are you looking at, Joe?
Tattoo. Some of the guys in the truck have it. Bernie Maddox had it done the day after the crash.
This is a surprise. Soldiers getting tattooed.
Bernie's was a homemade job. I was wondering if it meant he'd passed some kind of test. Yeah, we know there was something going on in that truck. What if it was that?
Like some kind of initiation ceremony. Interesting theory. Got anything to support it?
Just the way they act when I've talked to them. The way Maddox is, Coulthard is, I know it's not much.
Well, don't try it on Burns.
Coulthard has photos in his room. Groups of soldiers. Always the same number of soldiers. Like it was some kind of gang.
We questioned every soldier with photos.
Two crossed arrows and a dagger. American Special Forces badge.
That's it.
Brit soldiers modelling themselves on Yanks.
Coulthard values toughness. The soldier who sticks by his mates. He admires the paras, but he failed to get in. 3 times he failed.
If this is true, if it's true, how does it help us?
We think there was an initiation ceremony going on in the back of the truck just before the crash. The victim was Bernie Maddox. It involved thunder flashes, something dangerous with thunder flashes. But Maddox passed. He got initiated into the club. He got the mark.
So how do we use this?
Identify the members of this club by the tattoo, break them down.
Yeah. They've given us nothing so far.
Does Coulthard have a camera?
What?
Did he have a camera in his room?
Yeah, one of those fancy digital things.
Well, the photos on his wall were of digital stills. We should at least check.
I did check, Joe. There was nothing on his camera, nothing in the room.
Who do we know has got the tattoo?
Mays, Keach, Coulthard, sir. And Maddox, of course.
Neve, go through their records. Try and get some leverage.
Sir. Hippie, you take the first 2.
Bruce, do you know how many Ranger Force films there were?
2.
Sure?
Positive. Ranger Force 1 was a passable action picture if you'd just had 15 pints and a vindaloo. Ranger Force 2 was a turd.
Just 2 films?
Yeah, 2 is plenty. Why?
Wondered if I could borrow a video.
Private use only.
Have to be a member of the club?
Something like that. You've no right to be here. Give it back. Give it back, or you'll get hurt.
Are you threatening me?
You're trespassing. I'm protecting my property. Get it off her! Grab the tape, Maddox!
Don't make it worse, Bernie! No!
Grab it, get it, you dickhead! You dickhead!
Make it...
Grab it! What's going on?
Ranger Force. 7 films.
7? Well, is it any good?
What are we watching exactly?
You ready, Bernie?
Gotcha.
Blindfolded. Turn him round. Spin him.
Round.
On your knees, Bernie.
Down.
On your knees. Lighten. Stick one in his mouth.
Right. Boys, got it.
6,
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, that explains why they were prepared to let her go hang. Well done, McDonough.
Thank you, sir.
Doesn't change anything.
What?
I'm sorry, but it doesn't.
Why doesn't it?
It doesn't affect the crash. It happens at least 5 seconds before the crash, so it doesn't interfere with Private Walter's driving. She still ends up on the wrong side of the road on top of a civilian car. Doesn't even give us much on Coulthard. Maddox will just say it was a bit of fun. It doesn't help.
I don't know about it not giving us much on Coulthard, hippie. Bruce, you know those faces?
Yes, boss.
Bring them in, we'll throw the bloody book at them.
Theft of explosives, assault of an SIB officer, causing explosion likely to...
The truck's not on the wrong side of the road. Look at the verge. You can see the truck's on the right side of the road.
Mr. Vickery, I think you're right.
What's that like?
Car headlights. Rewind it, Joe.
Whose car?
Peter Mitbeck's.
Can't be the car. The headlights wouldn't light the verge.
It would if the car's on the wrong side of the road.
What?
The car's on the wrong side. Rewind.
Noch ein Bridge Konto.
So, for whatever reason, the boys end up on the wrong side of the road.
2 vehicles coming together at a combined speed of 100 miles an hour. Private Walters veers to avoid. Peter Mitveg does the same. Both end up on the other side of the road. Collision unavoidable. Not her fault.
And Eckhart accepts this.
He had to.
Good. You stuck at it, Kenny. Despite advice to the country.
I obeyed orders, sir. It was my team that was insubordinate.
Yes. It's a good team. Having Staff Sergeant Curlin gives you a better balance, I think.
Yes. Weighed down on both sides.
What's happened? Last night, Corporal Ogden's on laundry detail with the prisoners, including Gunner Wolf. And when she comes back from the laundry, she's -1 prisoner.
He's gone.
Yeah, left behind 2 broken hearts. Oh, and a certain laundress never turned up for work this morning.
Falling for Gunner Wolf's heavy artillery.
I think you better call the family officer.
Oh, he's on his way.
I'm sorry about the broken heart, Sam, but at least your problem's solved.
Very careless of you, Corporal Ogden.
Sergeant McDonough.
Tracy, back on the job already?
Well, they offered me some leave, but I thought I'd get back to work. They offered me a transfer too. I thought about it a lot, but, well, it would be like running away, so I'm staying put.
Good.
Anyway, thanks. You didn't give up on me.
It wasn't about you, Tracy. There were things we didn't know, and I couldn't let them go, that's all. But I'm glad you decided to tough it out. You'll make General yet.
Would you say goodbye to Lieutenant Vickery for me?
Is that what you want? To say goodbye?
Not particularly, but it's what I'm doing, so will you tell him?
Of course I will. Good luck, Tracy.
Joe! Joe! Just a man. I've been asking Eppie advice about women, and he's completely bloody useless.
Are we talking about Tabitha, Bruce?
Indeed we are. Tabitha, strategy and tactics for approaching and removing the pants off.
I hate men dying. They just get removed. Bang.
I think he was a fantasist, harmless to everyone but himself.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, sir?
I've no idea.
Flash cars, flash clothes. I mean, I can't afford suits like that.
You wouldn't suit suits like that. 3 weekends ago, Corporal Gemmell checked into a hotel on the Swiss border with Colonel Cosgrove's wife.
Get him here. Get him on tape.
You know what the army call you, lot? SIB. Shit in bulk.
If we're going to work together, my personal life, my past, it's off limits, all right?
You know about mine.
You made yours public. I don't.
Search warrant? On what grounds?
He was rude about Leeds, boss.
The formidable Mrs. Bradley investigates next here on UK TV Drama, and tomorrow there's more Crime from 9 with the Cold Case Squad, Waking the Dead.